This NBA Eastern Conference Finals Game 7 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost enables you to double your bet with no interest. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to get started today.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Showtime for Holmes.
Long, Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Oh, emergency pop in the middle of a great holiday. You know I'm a big holiday guy, Sean. I love holidays. I love taking time away, spending it with the family. Been down, little mildly competitive soccer tournament down in Orange County. No big deal.
Mildly competitive.
Heading on to the playoffs tomorrow, as the Americans would call it.
Ryan,
top of the table.
We are here talking playoffs, doing it on a Sunday night. There are no days off here at SGPN. I know those corporate gambling content people probably taking hey, it's a 3-day weekend. Not when you got a game 7. Right?
You know what the algorithm tells you? People
What?
don't listen to podcasts on Monday. You know why? Trying to keep us at home, trying to trick you to stay at home. That's all.
We're getting our work in. We're putting our plates up. Man.
Last time I checked, I don't listen to the computer, Sean.
No,
I'm a human.
We're an analog organization at heart. We got a lot to get to. One, ranting and raving about Game 6, giving our picks out for Game 7. Before we do that, and before we bring on our guests, Scott and Munaf, I think it is a good time for this week's edition of Days of Our League.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our league.
The NBA has opened an investigation into referee Derrick White over his alleged burner account on Twitter. Apparently, it became suspicious when there was one user who kept defending the referee Derrick White. Also, he's a huge Celtics fan, and his wife is the interim head coach at George Mason. He follows 5 accounts, one of which is George Mason's women's basketball. These guys need a class on like how to properly operate a burner.
Well, with AI, you guys, it's not that hard.
His replies are so great. It's just like Eddie. He just must search in Twitter Derrick White and go after these people that are criticizing the refs.
I mean, always embarrassing when you get caught with a burner.
Yeah,
but especially when you're an old guy, right?
Well, I mean, sometimes it's.
Do you have a burner? You have burners?
Do I?
Yeah, I feel like there's a deeper burner conversation to be had. I don't have burners.
No.
And we have
I'm not hiding from anything.
Yeah. First of all, second of all, we have a lot of company accounts that I don't know what they're up to.
Yeah, they might follow some things that.
But the idea that you would need an anonymous account to talk to people, like to yell back on the internet,
clap back.
Maybe not.
The Kevin Durant one is the funniest. I love that. Like he thought, I'm going to change people's minds about me ring chasing by replying to one comment at a time. It's like no, people just go like, "Who's this psycho defending Durant?" Obviously, he wanted to play on a really good team.
We're so far out of touch with some of these kids.
We are super old. Hey, we're going to talk hoops here in a second. Before we do that, shout out to Edge Boost. Have you signed up for Edge Boost? If not, you're missing out. Again, Edge Boost is the world's first bet now, pay later Visa card. What's better than that? Again, Edge Boost, they break it up for equal payments, 0% interest. Again, on pulling back the curtain, when Edge Boost came to us, they go, "Hey, we want to sponsor the show." I go, "What is it?" They go, "Oh, it's bet now, pay later." I go, "Oh, you guys are raking these guys over the coal, right?" Hey, that's when the juice comes in. That's where you get them. No, 0% interest. All you got to do, deposit deposit the funds. Edge Boost will match it again. So essentially, you got a great opportunity to double down on your favorite bet. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to sign up today. Up to $2,500 you can add to your bankroll. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge. Must be 21 years or older to use. Only valid in legal gambling states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
True story. When we first made contact with Edge Boost, Sean's response via email was just a link to this.
0.0.
Oh man,
that was the negotiation. There
I love that. Courtesy of Animal House. Chat is lit. What's up, guys? YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. Smash that subscribe button. All right, here we go. Joining us on the line from the NBA Gambling Podcast. You know him, you love him. Munaf, the Machine. Manji, what's happening, Munaf?
I had the option of either feeding my child and changing a diaper, or coming on and talking about Game 7 with you guys, but here we are. And since you were talking about Eric Lewis, I did a quick query: 13-5 when he's officiating the Boston Celtics during the regular season.
That's a coincidence. That's nothing to see there. He kept yelling at people, keep promoting your false narrative. It's just so great. Munaf, you are one of the probably the only Boston Red Sox fan I like. You and Boston Capper. Shout out to Capper. He real quick side note, Capper had a real big health scare over the weekend, or a couple days ago. He's doing good. But now they have this Game 7 in Boston. Over under the number of 2004 Red Sox players we'll expect to see at this game. I feel like it's you got to set the line at least like 3.5, right?
That was the exact number I had in my head. 3.5. I think David Ortiz will be in attendance.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
Throw in like Johnny Damon maybe in there. I don't think he was on that team, but Kevin Youkilis, Dave Roberts won't be there. But yeah, 3.5 is a good number.
Joining us as well from the NBA Gambling Podcast, Mr. Scott Reichel. Scott, you had the Celtics in 7. I assume this is how you had it shaking out. Heat win the first 3, Boston wins the next 4, right?
Yeah, sure. Only if Boston wins Game 7, though, because if they lose Game 7, then all my predictions are still wrong. But I said on the podcast today that basically what I thought would happen in the series happened if you hit the randomizer button for the 6 games. Because if you ignore the 3-0 and the 3-0 comeback, everything I said that would play out between these two teams has played out between these two teams. I said that Boston should win this in 5. They're the much better team. They're terribly coached. And Miami was going to find a way to steal a couple of games. And now we're in Game 7 because Boston blew a couple of games they should have won. And they probably should have won the series in 5. That's kind of how it played out. But Boston ended up winning Game 6. By the way, Munaf, Damon was on that 0-4 team.
There you go.
Because the Yankees fan, he hit the grand slam in Game 7.
Yes,
so Damon was on that team. I had a fun little question in my head, though. I saw the Guardians are playing against the Orioles on Monday. How much money does Francona need to get paid to not show up for the baseball game?
What is the number, right?
Oh man,
I was just kind of wondering.
He's not too far
what do you think's
Boston.
the figure that he needs?
Maybe one paycheck, one game paycheck. I think he'll be fine with that.
It's also it's a
162 game season.
Yeah,
you can miss one.
They're not going to miss them. Man, we got to talk about Game 6. I think Game 6. Munaf, I think, was also on Heat and 6. I was on Heat and 6. Kramer, I know you were on the Heat, but did you have Heat and 6?
Yeah,
well?
I had fucking Heat and 6,
and we all had over 5.5. So that cash, but.
You know what? This is not the player's fault. This isn't the coach's fault. This is fucking Stan Van Gundy's fault.
Oh my, you're right, because Stan
you fucking mush. Oh, that's no good. Fuck you, bro. And not only that, the premonition to say, watch the inbounder because he's going to be relevant in the fucking play.
When I had this moment where I go live, that looked good, and then Stan Van Gundy goes, I don't think that's good. I go, oh, thank God it's not good. And then you replay it, and it's clearly good. Van Gundy, you're killing me. Everyone, I'm sure, has seen the. Wait, why did they add an extra 0.9 seconds? Now the NBA claimed that it was a correct call. Again, there were some there were some really bad calls. I mean, like what ended up being a 4-point play, that was horrible. That certainly wasn't the calls. I wouldn't say was the reason they lost the game. I mean, Butler and Bam struggling so much offensively, probably what killed them. But the one play that drove me so fucking crazy was when Jimmy Butler went up driving to the hoop with the ball in his hands, and he bumped the Celtics defender, and they called an offensive foul.
Oh, that was horrible.
I understand if you're like wildly swinging your elbows, but you're holding the ball, you're taking it to the hoop. That's your job. Well, how can you, Munaf? How can you call that an offensive foul? That was the one that drove me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of questionable calls, especially in that fourth quarter. I'm with you. I mean, it didn't make sense to me because the player needs space to go up and take the shot, right? Like if somebody's chin is like underneath your arm or whatever however you want to describe it, the offensive player should have room to make a basketball move. And I guess it was deemed an offensive foul. I think what drove me even more crazy was that they went to Jake to upgrade it to a flagrant. And I think that basket would have gave him the lead. I know they regained it on
and it was a momentum thing because Jimmy Butler
was a college.
I mean,
he was trying to cook because he was having a bad 3.5 quarters.
Jimmy Butler wasn't looking to score. He closed out strong, but for a while there, he looked like maybe BJ Armstrong's lost child. Right? Did we jinx the Heat and Jimmy Butler?
100%. I was dancing on the fact that I had Jimmy Butler 18-1 MVP in the finals.
We really went nuts. We really did.
Maybe, I mean, to your point about BJ Armstrong, maybe we got to walk back this Michael Jordan talk because that man was passing way too much. He was playing like a little bitch, and there
was some small dog energy, but he closed it out strong, drawing the 3 fouls, hitting all 3, like his drive to the layup. He really did put the team on his back. Scott, getting over to you, you tweeted out a screenshot of an insane parlay. It was 45-1. Yes, the Boston Celtics versus Miami Heat buzzer beater in the series. You then parlayed that with Nikola Jokic 3-point to make a field goal at the end of any quarter as time expires. No chance of opponent to inbound. It looks like you're going to win $47,000 if this happens. Walk us through this insane parlay.
Yeah, I'll walk you through it simply. It's not mine. I just found it on Twitter, so I just thought I should relay the information there.
And
it wasn't mine. I didn't realize I was misleading that many people. I just saw it on Twitter, and I was basically saying, like, what the hell is this? I was kind of just showing it off to really ask how people come up with this stuff. But no, it wasn't mine. It was a free bet, so props to that person, whoever it is. Once again, you still need Jokic to hit a 3-pointer at any quarter. It's actually not even a game-winning 3-pointer. But it's not mine. So if you thought it was, apologies there. But I saw it.
No,
and
you did tweet out, "What the hell is this?" But I thought it meant it as like you forgot about it. And you stumbled upon this.
Three things.
Sorry if I misled anybody. That is not mine.
No, it's funny.
One, absolutely, I believe that Scott could have made a parlay and forgotten about it, and it been absolutely bonkers like this too.
It felt like a Scott parlay.
Yeah,
Scott,
it had your fingerprints
Scott is
on it.
absolutely the kind of guy that rations his free play for things that pay out 47,000 to 1. And 3, the tweet, Sean, I think more, it's like one of those iron workers, right? They craft their own iron work, but then they might also see another iron worker and want to promote the craft. And it was just Scott promoting the craft. Yeah.
The way that I remember it was that DraftKings itself initially made the post something along the lines with like some eye emojis, and they were trying to share it, and I wanted to retweet it, but DraftKings keeps limiting my action, so I didn't want to give DraftKings any like publicity, so I decided to just steal the picture, and I ended up posting it myself.
Ryan, make sure we bleep out these those references that Scott made to honor Scott.
Honestly, you can keep it in if you want to, because I'm roasting them because they limit all my action, so I didn't want to give them any credit. I don't recommend using them if you try to actually bet a lot, but whatever.
No, that's fine. I like it. Bleeps are funny.
Yeah, bleeps are funny. All right, so that was not your parlay, but again, we had us thinking about Scott here.
It was too crazy not to share, to be honest.
But now, Scott, I would like your take on this. Who do you think has more pressure on them in Game 7? Obviously, Game 6, it was all about Miami. Like, hey, you got to close it out at home. You got to close it out at home. in some ways it's weird where it's almost now all the pressure on Boston because it's game 7 at their home court. The Heat felt like they've already lost the series, but then also the Heat do have the pressure. No one wants to be that team that is now, for the up 3-0 to be 1-150. No one wants to be that team. So they still have some of that pressure, but
it strangely feels like it's not a must win. Well, no, I disagree with you. It feels like it's not a must win for the Celtics. It is for the Heat.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I see you could build a case, I think, for both. Scott, who has more pressure going into game 7?
I'm sorry, I lagged out there. Just to answer your question, am I back?
You're back.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So just to touch upon your question, I think most people would say Miami because once again, the historical pressure's there and they have a chance to do something that has never been done before in a negative way. So I do think that Miami would be most people's answer. I would actually lean to Boston here just because of the fact that I feel like everyone is already penciling them in to win game 7. And it's kind of the exact thing that we saw with the Heat. Now, the Heat, it's a bit different because Boston rolled over in game 3. And a lot of people, including myself, thought that Boston might be showing up for a funeral in game 4. I didn't think they're going to actually show up intensity-wise, especially when things didn't maybe go that well a little bit early on in that game. And then they ended up waking up and, that worked itself out. But the point is, I do think that now you're looking at Miami. Just to remind everybody, they were an 8 seed. I don't think anybody thought they were going to even be at this point where they were 1 game away from the NBA Finals. You could also argue that with them being potentially hosed by the refs and having the insane finish in game 6, that some people might be thinking that Miami, gave it their best shot. They got no chance to win game 7. So once again, they're already writing off the Heat.
Yeah.
I think if I had to go with who the pressure is mostly on right now, it probably would be Miami if I had to answer it, but I think it's closer than people think because Boston, we've seen time and time again, even though they are pulling off this insane comeback and they're in the process of it, a reminder, they were minus 500 to win the series?
Yeah.
Minus something like that. Like most people didn't give Miami a chance to win the series in the first place. So the main reason why I'm going to say Miami is because of the unprecedented historical context. But based on what we know going into the series, I'm sure most people didn't even think Miami was going to win 3 games in the first place.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were 65-1, I think, to win the East. They were like plus 400, plus 420 to win this series. And you talk about historic. The Celtics are the 4th team to force a game 7. Obviously, all 3 other previous occurrences lost. 1951 NBA Finals, Knicks forced a game 7 versus the Rochester Royals. That was actually Colby's last NBA game he watched, right?
Rochester coming up a lot lately. I was actually pulling up a random Red Sox from that year to call out. Jason Varitek would have been the one I called out.
Oh,
gritty
going
motherfucker. He's from Rochester, Michigan. So
Nuggets forced game 7 versus the Jazz in the West semifinals in 2003. In the first round, Blazers forced a game 7 versus the Mavs. So yeah, it's kind of crazy that they even got it back from 3-0.
It's not crazy. It's annoying.
Munaf, I don't think I'm going to be able to ever go on the internet again.
No.
With all these Boston
fucking chowder ads.
I mean, this is the last thing this sports town needs. Well, what do you think would happen if Boston pulls this off? Because it just feels like the Boston fans are insufferable. This was a great teaching moment to humiliate them. Will they be humbled if they lose game 7, or will they still try and tout the fact that, hey, we were down 0-3, we came back. Yeah, sure, we lost game 7, but give it up to those guys. What do you think the narrative will be for Celtics fans?
If I was a Celtics fan, I'd be ashamed. Like, you're the number 2 seed. You were the number 1 seed for most of the regular season. And Scott has mentioned this multiple times on the NBA pod that you're facing an 8 seed that was pretty terrible during the regular season, and they were in the play-in tournament. They got in as the 8 seed, and you were down 3-0 when you were supposed to be I don't want to say one of the favorites, I guess, coming into the playoffs to win the NBA title. So
for a conference finals, they were a massive favorite.
Yeah,
compared to most
minus 500. I mean, that's nothing to brag about if you come back down. I know you're making history, but it's like what 0-150 or 151, something in that neighborhood. But if you're a true basketball fan, as a Celtics fan, I would be embarrassed, but knowing Boston fans are going to be like, oh, they're going to be pumping their chest. Hey, we came back from 3-0. Who
By the way,
needs Tom Brady?
Sean, just to make sure, you said that it's happened 3 times before. I'm assuming that all 3 teams were on the road in Game 7.
Oh,
Boston's
that's
probably the first team to ever host a Game 7 in that spot, right?
That's a great point. I would have to double check. The stat I read just had those those 3 scenarios, but you're right. Again, I don't remember off the top of my head how what the Royals were, the Rochester Royals were 1951, what seed, but I'm guessing they were probably. You're right. I mean, the round 1 the Blazers had to have been dogs there. Yeah, so you're right. It probably is the only one to host it.
This is just, I mean, but what better way for Boston to celebrate the beginning of 2 decades of the sports teams being horrible? Then coming back in a meaningless conference championship game, only get destroyed by the Nuggets.
Okay. According to Easy in the chat, this will be the first time the down 0-3 team is at home. A bunch of interesting trends out there as far as Game 7s. Since 2003, home teams in a Game 7, 44-21, not good for the Heat. But more recently, since 2013, home teams in a Game 7, 22-14. But even more recent, since 2018, home teams in a Game 7 are 9-10, not including the bubble. Home teams in Game 7 since 2018 are 7-8, and then in the last 3 seasons, home teams in Game 7 are 3-5.
I love how the bubble was so hot. We have to eliminate it from all trends.
Well, I mean, you can't really call no team was a home team in the bubble.
And you're calling out.
It's so wild when you look back at those highlights and there's just the fans in their Zoom thing.
Oh my god!
And then
some bad ideas.
Were you bigger
happened.
fans of the cardboard cutouts or the Zoom thing?
The cardboard cutouts were at least a decent idea. It's a fun idea. You can raise some money.
As a gambler, I enjoyed watching. Like I would just randomly pick Zoom fans to watch and just see, because you could tell the guys and gals that were betting on it because they'd be reacting to like a overhitting, and you could see some people in the Zoom getting fired up a little bit. So I enjoyed the live video.
It was a time of innovation. You're talking about a lot of trends, Sean.
Yes.
You want to talk about Supernatural?
Oh, all right.
Because this was brought to my attention by, I think, Cousin Mush is in the chat.
Yes.
But apparently,
shout out to Cousin Mush.
And this is per Joe Mazzulla's sister Gianna Mazzulla's Facebook page. But apparently, Joe felt the need. Again, this guy's a fucking psycho. Apparently,
well, the town story alone qualifies as
right. But he felt the need to walk to work that day, and on the way to work, this is like a movie shot in Boston. He has to. So the sister is posting that Joe, her brother, texted her this, that he's at a bar. So he's on the way to work. He's got to stop at a bar to do a shot. He hears 2 songs in the bar, Wagon Wheel and Country Roads.
Okay.
Back to back. These are his father's favorite 2 songs. What happens after his stop on the way to work to get a shot, which, by the way, maybe the NBA can look into guys getting drunk a little pregame before work. They win the game. What happens on Monday, Sean? Game 7. Also, Joe Mazzulla's dad, who is no longer with us, birthday.
Oh, wow.
We have supernatural forces involved here.
All right.
At the formerly the Boston Garden, now the TD whatever the fuck situation.
TD Garden. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about this Heat team. I'm just gonna keep blindly following them into whatever happens. Miami Heat right now catching 7.5, total 203.5, plus 250 on the money line for Heat culture. Scott, you have the opening remarks here as far as Game 7. What's your take on this game?
So I'm not going to fully pivot away from what I had before the series started. I had Boston in 7, and I feel like they are going to win Game 7. Having said that, I'm not taking the points. I mean, I'm not laying the points. I'm going to take the points with Miami. Simply put, even though Boston was able to pull off a miracle when they blew a game once again, they should have won easily because they were up 9 with about 4.5 minutes to go, and then proceeded to not hit a single shot again until Derrick White had the buzzer beater. Simply put, they still can't close games. So why would I lay 3 possessions with a team that can't close a game? And I know people are starting to turn on Spoelstra and Butler because of the potential 3-0 choke job, and people are now praising Mazzulla for doing a good job coaching. I think, even though they almost did the exact same thing we've been yelling at them at doing for the entire season. Like, it's amazing how results-based everybody is, or how results-oriented our opinions are about everything, because if Boston loses that game, Missoula probably gets fired on Twitter by thousands and thousands of people. But since they won, nobody cares. The fact that they ended up blowing a massive lead at the end.
Yeah.
Boston still can't close games. It's been their issue all season long. And even though you can make an argument, Missoula did a good job of keeping the team together. Apparently, a Topgolf trip was a reason for that. Shout out to Horford for trying to get the whole team to go to Topgolf after going down 3-0. I don't know if you know that story or not, but that was going around Twitter earlier today.
Hilarious.
But the point is, I don't think Missoula is a good coach. You can make an argument he's gotten better as the series has gone on, but suddenly there's a narrative going around that Missoula has been out coaching Spoelstra. I don't know where that came from. Boston's just significantly more talented. The fact that Miami even had a shot to win Game 6 with Butler and Bam shooting a combined 9 for 37 tells you how bad Missoula is as a coach.
Yeah.
Because you should win that game by 15 plus. But either way, the point is, I'm going to lean to Miami. The issue that you have with Boston is still the fact that they can't close, and this team still does a really bad job at making sure they kill their opponents. I believe in Zombieland, it's called the double tap theory.
No.
They don't do that. They let the other team hang around. They refuse to actually put them out of their misery. And the next thing you know, you look up and it's a 1-point game with about a minute to go. I see it being the same story here. Game 7 last year was competitive. Miami had a shot to win the game. Butler, of course, missed that 3-pointer. I see a similar story in this game. It's an ugly, low-scoring game with no rhythm whatsoever. And I think Miami does enough to cover, but not to win. But I'll put it this way. If Miami does pull this off, and if Miami does end up winning Game 7 on the road, I will be significantly less surprised than other basketball fans. Let's put it that way. Because I still don't trust Boston.
No, how could you, especially at home?
Scott, the classic heel.
They're 5-5 straight up at home, and they haven't looked particularly great in a lot of these home games.
I needed to hear that.
They're 1-2 at home against the Heat in this series alone.
Sean, this is just the script writers getting it all wrong. These games were supposed to be alternated. Someone put the papers in the wrong order.
The writer's assistant, it was like running the copies over, and they all got all out of order.
3 in a row. Missoula's not supposed to win 3 in a row.
And they haven't. They did win 2 back-to-back home games, all the way back in April against the Hawks there. But other than that, they have not won back-to-back home games.
I want to ask you guys though. Am I alone? Because a lot of people might think I'm just a Missoula hater because I'm still kind of criticizing them despite them coming back 3-0. I just feel like Boston's more talented, and they're finally realizing that talent. But how am I supposed to praise the coach for almost blowing an unblowable game, and just because they won on a miracle putback, I'm supposed to think he's a good coach now? Am I missing something?
I did have a moment where the second that they're showing the replay of Jimmy Butler getting fouled, and I'm having the realization, oh my God, they're gonna put Jimmy Butler on the line for 3 free throws and cash me all this fucking money, and that's that. And they cut to Joe, and he is frantically holding the whiteboard and drawing on it. And there was this kind of like bit where it almost looked like he wasn't exactly sure what he was doing. He was just scribbling all over the place.
But what play? What was he doing?
Exactly.
The play that they ran.
The play was Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart's contested 3 was your play. That's what he deserves to be criticized.
The play, to be fair, was supposed to be to Tatum. They double teamed him, and Smart decided to chuck it up as soon as he got the ball. But you look at the actual action they ran. That was one of the simplest actions to possibly stop. They had a screen for Tatum on the wing, who was supposed to come around and I guess be wide open, even though he had 30 plus points. And he just came around the screen, but they double teamed him. And then they had no backup option. And Smart got the ball and chucked a 30-footer while not facing the rim. And then you had a putback layup. But once again, people are going to be prisoners of the moment and say to themselves, Spoelstra, bad coach, extremely overrated. Missoula is actually good, and people have been overhating him. I disagree. Once again, Boston could not solve a zone defense for 5 minutes and didn't score a basket, and they almost blew the game. and now I'm supposed to pretend that Missoula's a good coach because they won.
He put that Heat team in a great spot to win that game. Eric Spoelstra. I mean, Duncan Robinson just wide open, and he went long on both those shots.
Twice,
I mean, the fact that show me another coach that can keep his team in the game, considering his two superstars, Bam and Jimmy Butler, and I don't even know if you consider Bam a superstar.
They went 9 for 37, and they led by 1 point with 1 second left. How does that happen?
That is coaching. It's got to be.
By the way, Duncan Robinson been known to go long off the court too. So
oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a little reputation.
Get penetration.
He's a Michigan man, Sean.
Munaf, how say you? What are we thinking here? Are you gonna? I know, fellow Heat and 6 guy. Can we get this win for the Heat? Is plus 7.5? Where are we at?
Yeah, everything I got you guys just talked about in the last 5 minutes, everything kind of went over my head because I'm trying to figure out who's going to be officiating the game tomorrow. But I'll start with this. I'm with Scott. I'm gonna take the points with the Miami Heat plus 7.5 because again, it's a trust factor with the Boston Celtics as well that they can't close games out, and I just think that this is going to be one of those rock fights. Scott said, and we talked about this on the NBA pod as well, is that if you would have told me Bam and Jimmy Butler win a combined 7-4, whatever the number was, you would have thought that the Boston Celtics would have won by what 10, 15 points around that margin. I expect Jimmy Butler to be better. I'm not sure what I'm going to get out of Bam. I'm taking Miami plus 7.5. And will I be surprised if they win this game outright? No, because we've seen multiple times, not only during the regular season, but also in the postseason, where Boston has fumbled away the lead and they've lost games outright. They were down 3-2 against your Sixers, Sean. So
no, don't remind me.
Yeah, look, I'll go 7 and I'll take the points with the Miami Heat, but I do expect, just because of the momentum that Boston has right now, that they do win this game, whether it's by around 3 to 5 points.
See, I'm hoping that they dumped a Gatorade. This felt like a Gatorade dumping game. I mean, the guys are getting emotional. They're like, we're just happy we can play another game. Meanwhile,
I'm not sure if you saw the clip where they had like the 4 different angles of the reaction to the tip in by Derrick White. The one on the Boston Celtics, it was like a Gatorade dumping moment, and you saw Jaylen Brown like going down the court, holding up like the 7 number and whatever the case might be.
And even the post-game press conferences, Brown and Tatum separately had to take a moment of reflection because they couldn't believe what just happened.
Didn't it feel? I mean, I got this feeling.
So
that
this is your favorite thing.
This is my favorite thing.
Dump the Gatorade moment.
Dump the Gatorade. It felt like they thought that they won. It did. It felt like by forcing a game 7, they won the series. And I think that you're going to get a super hungry, nothing to lose, back against the wall, let's get it, effort from this Miami Heat team. Obviously, I'm on Miami Heat plus 7.5. I'm going to go to the grave just continuing to bet on the Miami Heat team. Here's my theory. Because I'm going to bet on the Heat money line again. Not crazy because I already got them in the series.
Wow, okay.
But if that loses, any money I've lost in this series, I'm going to win it all back when the Nuggets just fucking destroy the Celtics. Wow. Because this Celtics team cannot handle a talented team with a bit of heart that is well rested. That is the Denver Nuggets. So
they've had the
God forbid they win this game. The Celtics, they're going to get destroyed by the Nuggets.
You could argue that the Celtics have had the easiest path to the championship in the history,
and they keep trying to blow it. They tried. They almost. I mean, they lost 2 games to the fucking Hawks. They let this cream puff Sixers team take them to 7 games, and then they got down 0-3. This is not a good team.
Reminds me of the 2007 Eagles or 17.
Also,
Eagles
in the post game presser by Coach Spoelstra, he said, "We wish we were tipping Game 7 off tonight, but we have to wait 48 hours." So.
It's one of the cheesiest quotes I've ever heard, but I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, like you're not going to expect him to say, "Oh, we expected to lose this game. We're going to lose Game 7." No, I think they're going to be ready to go.
It is odd to do load management and just not like. I know they were planning on winning the last game, but it did seem like the Heat weren't fully committed to trying to win Game 5. So
and Game 4, to be honest, after halftime in Game 4, it was like, all right, we already won. It felt like they were already visualizing the champagne taste in the locker room, and they just didn't come out for the second half. I felt the same way. I'm glad you touched on it because it really looked like Miami was just casually going through the motions, just assuming they'd either win game 6 or they were pacing themselves for something. It felt weird. Now, of course, in hindsight, you probably shouldn't give a team extra life when they were on the verge of complete death. But still, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I believe in Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler, but I don't want to lay 3 possessions with a Boston team that every time they have a double-digit lead, you know it's going to be a 1-possession game with about 2 minutes to go. They can't hold the lead, so why would I lay 3 possessions with this team?
I'm just trying to think about what would it take for Jimmy Butler to look in the mirror and be like, Jason Tatum has more dog than me.
I mean, again, obviously I'm a hater as a Sixers fan, but man, Tatum, you just have these games and you completely forget that he's even on the team. Like he didn't. What was his like second half? He keeps having these fourth quarters where he doesn't make a field goal. Like there's never a end of the game. Tatum's just going to take the ball up for these next 3 possessions.
They're lucky they have Marcus Smart. I'll say
I mean,
that.
Marcus Smart, as much as
give me that fucking ball. He's John Starks on this team. I love it. Irrational. J.R. Smith. I mean, he's got the colored hair. It's all right. It makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
So what are we doing, Sean? We're taking the Heat.
Are
we sure about this?
Yes, 100%. What are you going to lay 7.5 at the Celtics? That's crazy.
Well, I think there is a chance that Boston's going to celebrate coming back from being down. Like this feels a little bit like Trevor Lawrence. The difference being that they're going to get stomped in the champion. This would be a great way to just send Boston off into losing for 2 decades. I'm kind of with Scott. I also have money on the Heat already, but how do you not win that game? How do you not box out?
It was really annoying. All right, let's talk a little props. Munaf, Scott, maybe give us your favorite prop, and we can actually call this our Edge Boost Double Down Play of the Day. I'll kick things off. Again. Okay. Edge Boost enables you to double your bet with 0 interest. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to sign up today. I'm going with we're talking.
Sean just rips the door open and walks through. Not holding it for you, Munaf.
I realized I already had the sponsored segment thing, and then if I read it and then kicked to him, I figured I'll just get my pick out of the way. I'm going Jimmy Butler over 9.5 rebounds. It's plus 200. He had 11 rebounds last game. There is just he's just always hanging around by the rim, always grabbing those boards. He's going to keep taking it to the hole, and even if he misses a couple shots, like I swear he gets a ton of his own rebounds and putbacks and stuff like that. I think it's an easy way to rack up some rebounds. So Butler over 9.5 rebounds plus 200. Double that up with Edge Boost. You're looking pretty good. Munaf, now kicking it over to you. What's your favorite prop here for Game 7?
So 2 guys for sure are gonna probably play the entire game. Jimmy Butler and Bam. Jimmy Butler played 47 minutes in Game 6. I think Bam played 45. I think Caleb Martin played around 41 or 42 minutes. So at least those 3 guys are playing Miami props that you probably want to look at either rebounds overs, assist overs, or maybe points over for Jimmy Butler. But I think my more favorite play that's at plus 150, Derrick White steals and blocks to go over 2.5. We're expecting this to be a ugly defensive game. Derrick White has gone over 2.5 blocks and steals combined in 3 out of the last 4 games for the Boston Celtics. He had 3 blocks and 1 steal in Game 6. Game 5, he fell 1 stat short. But prior to that, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and then 1 steal, 2 blocks. So at plus 150 for a guy that's done it 3 out of his last 4 games, I do like that. And the last one I'll throw out there as well, Bam rebounds is something I am looking at. It's at 9.5 right now, but if you want to ladder this one up,
ladder
alt rebounds, 13 plus is at plus 360, 15 plus is at plus 850.
Yeah, no, great point about this being a closeout game. And I mean, what Butler will play like 46 minutes, something crazy. He's going to be out.
Last year in Game 7, he played all 48 minutes, and then he played 47 in Game 6. So
yeah,
I'd be shocked if he left the floor.
I was going to say, you think Spoelstra's going to get his ass?
I doubt he gets rested at all.
Spoelstra's not taking his ass.
No, he's going to go big and not go home. Well, he's going to go home because that's where you go after you win Game 7 and crush the Boston Celtics. Scotty, what do you got for us prop wise? What do you like?
So I'll go with my favorite one that I think is most likely a hit, and then I'll go with a long shot since your double down play was a plus 200 play. So starting off with my favorite prop, I'm going to go with Butler over in points at 28.5.
I like that.
Simply put, even though Butler shot the ball terribly in game 6, he's still at 24 points because he went to the line a bunch at the end of the game and he ended up making a bunch of free throws. But he went, I believe, 5 for 21, and he still had 24 points. But the point is, I think he's going to shoot the ball a bunch. He's not going to come off the floor. He played 48 minutes last year at 35 points in game 7. I think he's going to get a lot of volume, and you can look at Miami supporting cast. Once again, Butler, who, even though he was very underwhelming for most of the game, he was pretty good in the final 3 minutes, so maybe some of that's going to carry over into this game. And Boston still is just letting him operate in isolation. They're not sending any doubles whatsoever. So they might just let Butler cook and try to stop everybody else. But give me Butler over 28.5. It's based on volume. He's never going to leave the floor. He's going to take 20 plus shots, probably get to the line double-digit times. And I think by volume alone, he's going to go over. As for my long shot play that I do like a lot for the odds, Caleb Martin, 10 plus rebounds, was plus 370. He played 15, or it was plus 320 or 370. It was a pretty big price either way. But Martin played 41 minutes in game 6. He had 15 rebounds. And you can make an argument this entire series, since Bam's been a no-show for part of it, has Martin been their second best player in the entire series? Because 41 minutes might actually sound low for Caleb Martin, as crazy as that sounds, because they need him to play roughly 45 minutes in this game. So I think you might see Martin just get a bunch of minutes, but anybody that can get 15 rebounds in the last game, and you can get 10 plus at plus 320 or whatever the price was, I think that's a bargain for a guy that might play even more in game 7 than he played in game 6. And the total's roughly 203.5. So you're expecting a rock fight in general. I'm on Martin 10 plus rebounds in the 320 range.
Yeah,
I mean, that is fat. Write that down, Sean.
Because he was shooting the ball well, which kept him on the court as well. Minutes wise, I think he's going to be out there a bunch too.
Great transition, because plus 800 for him to have the most 3-pointers in the game.
Most rebounds plus 950.
Whoa!
What? Most rebounds is plus 950
for Caleb Martin? Yeah.
Oh man!
You want to hear another fun bet? It's automatic at this point.
Yeah.
What have we seen Tatum do generally in the big moments? Leave a little poo on the ground.
Need a little sword vitality.
Yeah. Do they have a fourth quarter over under for point total?
His turnover total for this game is 3.5.
Oh, love the over on that.
He's gone over that. He's gone over that in 4 out of 6 games. The 2 games he didn't go over, he had 3. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So you're on over
Tatum
3.5 turnovers.
Because much like my dog that shit all over me. I think I talked about that on the air.
Yes, you did.
Tatum's gonna shit all over the floor. Joe Mazzulla's gonna be disappointed. He's
Get the
gonna
newspaper out.
rub his nose in it.
Teach him a lesson.
Why do you think Jaylen Brown had the fucking mask on? Mazzulla was showing him a thing or two about pooping on the court.
Love it. All right, let's go Heat. Hashtag Heat culture.
We can't have Boston winning.
No, this is it's just gonna fucking kill me.
Sorry, Scott.
Yeah. Scott.
I'm taking the points with Miami. Once again, I'm just sticking with what I thought would happen when the series started, and here we are. So that's kind of why I still think Boston's going to win. But I said before, if Miami wins, I would be less surprised than most people, because most people are going into this game thinking Miami's got no chance to come back after what happened in game 6. I don't think they're as screwed as people think they are. That's all I'm saying.
Scott. We're gonna have to have Scott back on sometime to tell us what he does on the day where there's no sports.
What do I do? I sleep most of the time.
He recharges so he can do more handicap.
They ruined the entire movie.
All righty. Thanks to the NBA guys. Make sure you subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast. We got a NBA Finals contest coming up, which will be exclusively on the SGPN app. $100 SGPN gift card that is coming soon. Toss us a nice rating review over on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars over on Spotify. Thumbs up. Subscribe on the YouTube. Follow Scott on Twitter at Reichel Radio. Follow Munaf the Machine at SportsNerd824.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green, and he is Ryan.
And you can follow me at Kramer Centric.
Kramer, let it ride.